2005 Saturn relay, also known as Chevy Uplander, doing a power steering pump. Want to take off the belt. Down here is where you see the tensioner, 3/8 ratchet is what we used. Take the belt off, and now we have 3 bolts that come out of here. 13 millimeter for the power steering pump assembly. Give us a moment, we'll be right back with it disconnected. Getting one of the 10 millimeter bolts out of the coolant reservoir. You got one down here, and you got one hiding right against the firewall there with all this craziness in the way. Yep, it's right there. You got 2 13 millimeters here to take out this bar, and then one back here right behind the relay box. So we took off the fuse box panel right here, as you can see. 2 clips pop that off, and that makes it easier here to go there and there. These are your 2 10 millimeter points. Normally 10 millimeters. For us it was 10 millimeter here, 11 millimeter there. And so this took a little bit of negotiating. We actually had to pull the power steering pulley off. And you got to make sure that you get this hose off here, which is held in by a spring clamp. And then of course you got the line here, which was 11/16 on the thread over here.
5/8, 11/16.
5/8, 11/16. And then you got to negotiate your way. You stick a pry bar in it right around here and negotiate your way out with it. And we'll be back in a moment with the new pump. So if you look right here, we want to replacing that clamp, which is right behind this line. How to use a replacement hose clamp. You want to bolt this in before you put the pulley back on, temporarily hold it in place. Then you want to shove this hose right here back into place, the one back there. Then you're going to thread this one in down here, which was 5/8.
That was a 5/8.
And then you got to reassemble the pulley after you tighten the bolts down, which is right there, 1, 2, and 3. And we'll be right back once it's installed. And this is us installing the pulley. You're going to hold a 15 millimeter on the nut, depending on what type of kit you have. And then the ratcheting wrench is a 17. So there it is. That's the replacement power steering pump from the salvage yard put reinstalled. Now we have to put the coolant reservoir bottle, the computer back assembly, and we'll be right back. Good time to reassemble the belt onto the assembly again, because you have good access. There's your 3/8 pivot point. Okay, don't forget we're putting this bracket back on here. Make sure that gets on secure, 10 millimeter, 1 bolt.